And so when I was doing my master's for teaching, that's actually when I was introduced to a growth mindset. And I remember my professor talking about it, and I was like, a growth mind? We have two mindsets, like a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And I was like, what do you mean we have two different types of mindsets and that can like determine how we perceive the world? Like I never heard that in my entire life. And I was like, in my early 20s when I heard about that. And so once I started learning about the process of a growth mindset, where it is more about the process rather than the outcome, and being a lifelong learner and always being open to new skills rather than always being aware of our limits, was such an enlightening piece for me. And I actually brought it into my classroom and started using, growth mindset in, lessons here and there. And it was a great, opportunity of a shift for me because I struggled a lot with, people pleasing and perfectionism all the time, being like that high achieving, hyper independence girl, always getting the good grades, doing the right thing. And so learning about a growth mindset really opened up the opportunity to allow myself grace when I'm learning something new. Because, now I'm 31, but in my 20s, I mean, you're trying all the things in your 20s of like your job and who do you want to be as a person? What do you want your career to look like? What do you want your future, maybe family to look like? And so it was nice being introduced to what is a growth mindset. And we used the great book from Dr. Carol Dweck. And, it helped me realize how to navigate life in a better way, especially going through my 20s. Maybe how can I create a podcast in order to share experiences and share stories and have like guests on to share their experiences and expertise in that field as well to help people not feel so alone? Because a lot of the times, we do isolate ourselves, in different aspects of our life. And so from then on, I had the Growth Mindset Gal podcast, which we have. It's so great to see that like 200 plus episodes, 100 plus
Yeah.
guests at this point. Found it in my own journey that we oftentimes really get in our own way. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemies and self-sabotage. And I wanted to help people navigate that experience because we have a beautiful life to live. And oftentimes we stunt our own growth, and becoming aware of ways that we can shift our mindset from maybe a fixed to a growth mindset. That way, we are the co-creators in our lives and we don't let our limits, that our perceived limits, if you will, stop our growth and expansion.